So once you have turned on Wordfast server, even if it's in demo mode, you will be able to connect an AI to Wordfast Pro using it. So let's see how it's done. If you don't know Wordfast server, you must know that at least you have to have one translation memory created and active and one account to be able to do what we're going to do. So first things first, let's create a translation memory. So we will call it simply EN to ES, okay, English to Spanish, and in here we have to type the location for the memory file. I can simply navigate to within the folder where Wordfast server is, which is here for me, and just add a name for this translation memory. So I will do EN to ES also. You don't need to add an extension because it is here selected for you. You click on open and then you click on add. And now that's when we place our languages. So source languages will be English and target languages will be Spanish. Click on OK and then we click on yes to reorganize it. Okay, reorganizing it will happen very fast. And once this is done, we have to create an account. And to create an account, it works a bit the same way. We need to give it a name. So we'll do the same, EN to ES. And now in the TM area, we are going to assign it the TM we have created. In this case, this one, EN to ES. And click on assign. Now we can decide here what we want it to have. So we definitely want it to be active and we may want to be able to write to the TM. So let's tick that box here. And now we click on add and the account has been created. Once we have an account, now we are ready to go. So let's click on the setup tab and AI engines. And in here you see several engines. Okay, and the first one usually is ChatGPT. The first thing you want to do is to paste your API key, and what we need to do is give it the set of prompts we want. So you can create them, okay, by clicking on the green button here, but you can also use the ones that we have prepared for you. To be able to do that, just click on the orange button. Okay, so you see we have several prompts that are ready made. Okay, and now we are ready to click on save. Once that's done, we need to go into the accounts tab and click on AI engine. And once we get here, we need to put our API key again. Okay, and in here, we need to bring the prompts that we have set up for this engine. So to do that, we can click here and that will bring us a list of available prompts we have made for this engine or the default ones as we prepared before. And for testing, we can just select Translate Basic and click on Test. Okay, so the test is done in English to French, it works, and now we can click on OK. So now we are ready to move to Wordfast Pro. And in Wordfast Pro, where do we go? Well, we have to be with our project open and we need to go into the current project section and select Project TM, which is where we are. Okay, so you may see already a line in here, which is the local translation memory you will have. And what we will do, we will go and click on connect to remote TM. Okay, and in here we see different things. What we want to select is the one in the middle, Wordfast server. Okay, so to be able to fill this section here, we need to go back to Wordfast server and where we left it in the accounts. When we have the accounts to which we have assigned the AI, we have at the bottom here several addresses options. Okay, and by default it gives you this address, which means look inside my computer. Okay, so because Wordfast Pro and Wordfast Server for this test are installed on the same machine. So that makes things pretty easy. Everybody gets the same address, which is this one, and that tells it to look into the local computer. And in here, you can copy this address, and Wordfast Server will create the full address for you, so you don't have to do anything. Pretty nice. So let's click on that button, and we select the one at the top, okay, which has EN to ES, okay? So let's do that. And now we go back in Wordfast Server, and for the moment, we don't need to fill up the top area, symbolic name, but we will select URL, okay? And we will paste the URL Wordfast Server gave us. If Wordfast Pro fills up automatically the fields as it did now, it's a good sign. So you see it has given us a name, which is the name of the account we have in Wordfast Server, okay? EN to ES, and it has filled up everything. So what we need to do now is click on test. And if you see the green at the bottom, connection successful, this is very good. So we are looking good. So if we look here, what do we have? It's selected, it's not ticked read only, and enable encryption is ticked, which we need to leave on. So now we decide if we want to make that a primary or a secondary TM. So for the moment, I'll say OK with primary. And now it became my primary translation memory. And I will be able this way to translate my file. So basically we are telling Wordfast Pro this is a translation memory, but we know it's not exactly that. We will first ask an LLM to translate our segments, and then we'll be able to save into this translation memory if we want to. So let's go and look at the project file to see if everything works. Okay, so let's test it. Okay, so if we look at our first segment, we see here it has been translated, and if we hover over it, we see that it has been translated by AI, creation user AI, and at the very bottom we see that it has been translated by ChatGPT using the translate basic prompt. So you can do that by hovering over, or if you bring it to the side and click on the eye here, you are going to be able to see the same but bigger. Okay, so creation user AI, and at the bottom here for this custom attribute we have ChatGPT, and the prompt being used translate basic. So that's practical. You know what you've been using, okay? And you will be able to use that for all the segments in there, okay? So it's actually quite fast to translate. Now let's clear the targets. Okay, so what about if we want to use a different prompt? For example, one I like is the acronym expander. So for example, in this segment here, we have some acronyms. So let's see if it can translate them and expand them. So to be able to select that prompt, we need to go back into Wordfast Server, Accounts. We click on AI Engine, and now we search for the acronym expander. Now I see it. Okay, I select it, click on Test, and I click on OK. Very good. So now let's test the results. Okay, so let's look at that. It worked. Okay, so TUs, unidades de traducción, excellent. All right, here it recognized memorias de traducción. One that I like is the synonyms provider. So it should give us some synonyms for something we are translating. Okay, so in here for segment 20, it gave us here all these synonyms separated by the pipe symbol. Okay, so we can choose from them. So I think that shows you a few things that you can do with AI this way, and I hope you'll find this video useful. All right, see you in the next one. Bye bye.